Good morning, it's Sue from Snake River Stamping. Thank you for joining me today for our card tutorial. These tutorials are always free. However, if you order from me, there's always some bonuses, which I will explain in just a little while. I was thinking today, have you gotten all your Christmas stuff put away and everything? I finally got to mine yesterday after church. And my husband and I decided we would just do it, you know. And so he brought all the bins in, and I started gathering things and wrapping them up and putting them away, and putting the usual stuff back out. And so it felt really good to get the house sort of cleaned up and managed a little bit better. I hope you've had time to do that too. I always keep my Christmas lights up in here because I enjoy them. And they frame the wonderful art I have on the wall for my grandsons. Anyway, today I want to talk to you about a couple little things. Tomorrow, January 7th, starts Sale-A-Bration. And let me change to my desktop so you can see this. All the buttons. Okay, got the right one. Okay, Sale-A-Bration is our biggest sale of the year. In January and February we always do Sale-A-Bration, and it starts tomorrow, January 7th, and it goes to February 28th is when it ends. And I can't show you the catalog until tomorrow, but I can show you some of the items, and I'm going to share some of those today with you. So how you get free items out of this little catalog is you can order out of the mini catalog, the January through April catalog, which also goes live tomorrow, January 7th. And actually, I live in the Pacific Northwest, and so I'm on Pacific time, and it goes live tonight at midnight, actually, Mountain Time. And which is 11 p.m. our time. If you're like me, you know, I stay up late, so I place a lot of orders at that time of night. Anyway, you can see all of this if you're not one of my if you're one of my customers. I've already sent these things to you. If you're not, you can see all these things online at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight. And you can start selecting some items and I'm going to share a couple of Sale-A-Bration items with you today on the cards that we're going to make. So, one of the things I wanted to point out in all of our catalogs, including this new mini catalog, okay, in all of the catalogs. And then this new mini catalog is on page 12, where they have all these card sketches. Now, I can't show you this one yet, but I can show you in our annual catalog on page 22, they talk about card design and designing cards. They give you some examples over here. And down at the bottom of the page, mine's a little wrinkly because somebody might have spilled her water on it. Oh dear. Anyway, there's all these card designs that are called card sketches. They're just general. You can use any paper, ink, stamps, whatever you want to reproduce these card sketches. And in our mini catalog that just ended at the end of December, on page 16, they had card sketches also. And I believe I sort of did this one down here at the bottom, where it has the card base and a flagged piece and a square piece, a round piece, and a sentiment piece. And it's going to kind of look like that on our first card that we're going to do today. So in each catalog, they have all these ideas to help you get started and how to design a card and what makes it balanced. You know, you pick the paper, you pick the colors, type of thing, but they do help you with that, and that always helps my creativity and my ideas that that I like to do. So today, the first card I'm going to show you is this one. It's the really simple card sketch I just showed you. I changed it up a little bit, and I turned this one. We're going to do this. We're going to make this one. I did this one in Azure Blue, and I did link all these products below that I used today, and I will show you how I tweaked it a little bit to work the way I wanted it to work. Okay, so I'm going to set this up here so I can see what I did. And I'm going to bring out all the stuff that we need to make this card. Now, during the month of January, my card specials, I always have some kind of ordering special. And so for a $40 order in my online store, my January special is 4 card kits. You'll get 2 of these and 2 of the next one I'm going to do. So you get 4 altogether. And if you do $50 in my online store, you'll get all 4 card kits, plus you'll get some surprise gems. I have a bunch of gems in the back here in my box, and I'll give you a brand new package of gems to go with your cards. And if you do a $60 order, well, then that's really a bonus, and you should wait till 11 p.m. tonight to do that, because then you'll get the 4 card kits, you'll get the gems, and you'll qualify for Sale-A-Bration item, one of the free items that they have. And I'm going to share a couple of those with you today in the Sale-A-Bration brochure. So for $60, they have two different levels. They have $60 ordering level and $120. So if you do a $60 order, there's many items in this store, and I'm going to share 2 of them with you today that you could get for free. They'll ask you at the very end of your order which Sale-A-Bration items do you want, and they show you a little picture, and you just click on it and add it to your cart, absolutely free. Okay, so waiting till tonight at 11 is not a bad idea, so you get Sale-A-Bration orders. So this card kit goes together pretty easy, and I will do all the die cutting for you. You have to have your own stamps and your own ink. Okay, I can't do any stamping for you. So I just start off with a half a sheet of pumpkin pie, and I cut it in half at 5.5 inches. So I have 8.5 by 5.5. I score it at 4.5 on the long side, on the 8.5 side, so that I have a basic A2 card base. Okay, so that's pumpkin pie that I started with. And then the paper, the DSP, this is one of the free items that you can get starting tonight at 11 o'clock if you're Pacific Standard Time. You get this free paper. It is called Bloom Impressions 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. And it comes with this pretty yellow, which we're going to use. And it comes with this pretty purple, which we're going to use. And there's always like a wash or something on the back. Or maybe sometimes there's a pattern. Okay. Another one that's in here is this pattern. It has beautiful flowers on the front and a wash on the back. And And it has this pattern with multicolored flowers and another wash on the back. And there's 2 pieces of each. Oh, there's one more. Oh, there's 2 more. Oh. Okay, and there's this bright one with this pink, and then it's got some Lost Lagoon white flowers on the back. And probably should have pulled this out beforehand, shouldn't I? And oh, I think I showed you that one. Did we? Nope, we didn't look at this one. Okay, this is just a different pink. Okay. I think that is it. Yeah, that's it for all the colors and paper that are in this. So there's like 6 different papers. There's 2 of each, so that's 12 pieces of 12 by 12 paper that you can cut up and make into cards. And I'm using this paper for your card kit this month. And I could only order 1 pack on the pre-order, so I need to order some more tonight to make these card kits. But you might get this color, you might get something else, but I'll make everything coordinate when I cut it up for you. Okay, so you start out with a card base, and then you need, I'll cut a piece of 4 by 5.5, and in fact I'm gonna cut this piece too, because I decided I didn't want just a square. On the card sketch it just shows a square. Okay, and I thought, well, I want something more interesting, so I looked in the things that I had, and this is from Citrus Blooms. I'll just tell you where I got it, because you might have this, I don't know, but I will cut this for you in your card kit. And in the dies they have this outline die, and I'll just run this through my die cutter, and it has little stitched edges, and it makes just a really nice background piece for this card. Okay, and I'll cut that for you. Okay, again, that's Citrus Blooms. It is linked below if you would like to make that part of your order. And then I cut a piece of white for the inside, and it's going to be a little different because I changed this piece, because deckled rectangles and deckled circles are no longer available, and I didn't know that when I first made this card. So this one's going to be a little bit different with some stuff that is available. But I'll cut you a piece to go on the inside of the card, which is 5 by 3 and 3/4. Yes. Okay. All right. Then you need a piece of peach pie, which I will include and I will cut for you. And peach pie, I used several dies out of Nested Essentials. Okay, I used the largest one to cut the flag die for the front, and I'm going to show you how I made it longer. And I used the second to the largest of the rounded rectangle edges for the cross piece. Okay, and I'll cut those for you in your card kit. So if you have this at home already and you want to just make some of these, I used pumpkin pie to cut the flag. I used the largest flag, and you need 2 1/4 by 3 to cut the flag. Okay. Oh no, excuse me, that's the rounded one. you need, excuse me, the peach pie, you need 2.5 by 3.25 to cut the flag, okay, which I will cut for you in a card kit. And then, again, on pumpkin pie, for the rounded one, you need 2.25 by 3 to cut that one, which in a card kit I will cut for you. So those are your pieces and your sizes that you need to start this. So you need your pumpkin pie to do your card base, 8.5 by 5.5. You need a piece of DSP, and you can use any DSP. You don't have to use this one, but if you order from me, this is the card kit you're going to get. You need 4 by 5.5. You need peach pie, 2.5 by 3.25 to make your flag die. And to make the rounded corner one, you need 2.25 by 3. Okay. Then you need a scrap of the DSP to cut a circle. And you can use stylish shapes. I did this one because, like I told you, on the one I used deckled circles, which is no longer available. I love deckled circles. I love deckled rectangles. But I also got this one from Spotlight on Nature, which is available, and it has some dies in there that are really cute and makes a really cute little circle that I think I'm going to use on this one. Okay. And I dropped something. Oh, not important. Okay. So to put this card together, it goes pretty quick. Now I couldn't get, I had to use a little flag die because I couldn't use deckled rectangles. So I had to use stylish shapes, which is linked below, and I used this one, the little flag die right here, and it's a medium size one. And I couldn't get the same sentiment on that stylish shape as I got on my example. I picked knowing you brings joy to my heart, so I'm going to put that sentiment on the inside where I have more room, and on the outside I needed something that would fit this, so I picked Just for You. But like I said, you have to have your own stamps and ink, so you pick what will fit on the flag die for you. All right, so pretty easy. I did stamp Knowing You Brings Joy to My Heart, which I put on the front of the other one. I put that on the inside, and then I went back to the Citrus Blooms because they had some little star flowers here, and I just put some one of the small star flowers on my smallest, I think, what is this? This is an A block. Put it on my A block, and I'm using pumpkin pie ink to do this. Well, I'm using a different ink because I lost my pumpkin pie because of my little helpers that come in here, so I had to get a different orange. It's really similar, so you have to pivot all the time, right? In card making, you got to pivot. So I just stamped this up, and I use my Stampin' Seal. You can use your Tombow glue, whatever adhesive that you like. Now, when you're using the Stampin' Seal Plus, this stuff is super sticky. You do not need to put Stampin' Seal Plus on the entire card. If you notice, I just put a piece here, piece here, piece here, piece here, and sometimes I put one in the middle. So I've got my inside, and I just used my ink and my pumpkin pie / my other ink, and I stamped up some little stars. I put Knowing You Brings Joy to My Heart because it's going to go with our front. Okay, so I'm going to crease this really good. so hopefully it'll stay shut for me while I do this. And once again, I am going to just put a little Seal Plus on the back of this. Now I do want this to stay on pretty good because it's the background, and there is an up and a down to it when you look at it with the little flowers. And I just place that on there. And then I come to this, and I'm going to put this on top of it, right? And I took my little flowers that I had stamped on the inside, and I just stamped them randomly on the outside to give this a little more visual interest. But I need this to be longer because it's really not long enough for this particular card layout. So all I'm going to do is I stamp it, take some long scissors, and I cut it in half. Okay, so now I can lengthen it because I'm going to put this over it. And you're not going to see it. I just need to make it even, which is the hardest part, is making it even. And I'm going to turn this rounded rectangle over. Okay. And I'm going to put some seal at the top, on the long side, on the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to try to get this straight. It's not quite straight. You might have to look at the front to get it straight. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. And the bottom, put that on, and I want to line it up so it looks like it's all one piece. I'm gonna adhere that. And then I'm going to put more Stampin' Seal on this. I'm going to be a little more generous with this. Okay. And I'm going to put it right here. Okay. So I decided to cut out of the DSP. You can decide if you want to have a white circle in the background of it, or if you want it just to show the orange through. I kind of thought the orange looked okay. So I'm going to kind of place these over here. I am going to use dimensionals. I can find them, because of course I have a bajillion of them. There they are. There's some of them. There's some more. Okay. There's some more. Got it. Okay. Dimensionals. Plenty of dimensionals. I personally use tweezers for this. And I am going to pop up my circle. And I will put 3 dimensionals kind of in a triangular pattern on back. And this time it doesn't really matter which way this goes. Right there. And then I'm going to put my sentiment right over here. And I'm just going to run a little bit of tape over there. And I went over the edge, so I just fold it back over Didn't get much on that side. Because I want a little bit of the orange to show. Pumpkin pie. Like that. And then I took 3 little pearls because I thought white showed up pretty good on this. And I'll send you some pearls to do this. I just added 3 little pearls. So again, out of my card sketch, show you that again. I took this basic card sketch down here with the big flag. Instead of a square, I decided to do the rounded rectangle out of Nested Essentials. And then I put a little bit smaller circle up here, and I turned my greeting the other direction on that. But this is where I got the inspiration for that. And as you can see, there's a whole page full of these lovely inspirations for you to look at in all of our catalogs. Okay, so that's where I got that one. And when you order, I almost forgot to say this, when you order, please use my code so I know that you ordered from me, and I will send you the things that we're talking about today, the card kits, jewels, whatever you qualify for. I will send all that stuff to you. And you can always contact me at my phone number. This is my cell. You can text or call me. This is my email, sue.turner.snakeriverstamping@gmail.com. I know that's really long. I should have shortened that up. But now I have everything tied to that, so it is what it is, right? Those are 2 easy ways to contact me with questions or anything else that you have. And so that's card number 1 that we're making today. And you'll get 2 of those in your card kit with a qualifying order. Okay, card number 2. That's the one that fell on the floor. Okay, so I got this sketch from demonstrator Trina Urahana. I think she's from Hawaii. And her business is called Scrap and Season Designs. Okay. And so this was the basic design on white. And I sort of liked it, but I wanted to change it just a little bit. So this is what I came up with, and this is what you'll get in your kit. Okay. So you'll get the Fresh Freesia card base. And the Fresh Freesia card base is 8.5. This is 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half like the other one was. Okay. Then you will get 2 squares like this. And these 2 squares are Blackberry Bliss, and I chose the purple pattern, and that's where I got the Blackberry Bliss. I always choose my DSP first, and then I choose what goes with it. And the Fresh Freesia goes with this, and the Blackberry Bliss goes with this. So the card on the Blackberry Bliss was 3 by 3.5, and the DSP was 2 3/4 by 3 1/4, and that will be cut for you. Okay, if you order from me and you get a card kit, so that goes right there on the card. Then you need a piece to do the Nested Essentials, and this is 3 3/4 by 2.5, and I realize I did that in pencil, and that's probably really hard to see. 3 3/4 by 2.5, and you're just going to cut another one of those large flags out of that. which will be cut for you. Okay. And then you need a piece of white. That's just, and you're going to do Nested Essentials the next size down, which is 2 by 2 3/4, and that will be cut for you like this. Okay, those will fit together. Okay. Then you need to do the strip. It needs to be 4.5 by 3 3/4. 4.5 by 3 3/4. This is Blackberry Bliss. And that's going to go under here. Okay. And then you need another piece of this paper, but I flipped it over because it has the wash on the back and it coordinates with it. Okay. And that's going to be glued on top, and then we're going to emboss it. And that brings me to another Sale-A-Bration item for free. Okay. It's this pretty Starstruck embossing folder. And this is with a $60 order. You would qualify for, you could choose this. You can choose, you know, what you want out of that catalog for every $60 that you spend, starting tomorrow / tonight at 11 o'clock. You can get this, and we're going to use this to emboss today. Okay. I need to grab, I was going to do that for you. Emboss that. Grab that embossing folder. So all I did do this piece is I took these two pieces because I thought they were a little plain on the first card that I made. I just thought it was a little plain. Okay, so I thought, well, we'll just emboss it because it'll be against the background here, which is pretty and floral, right? So I have a bow already tied, and I can show you how to do that if I can't find it. All I did was I turned this over and I just ran a little of the embossing of the Stamp and Seal, and then I centered it. You know, that's always iffy, right? Centered it. And I see that I have a little bit of Stamp and Seal sticking out. So I'm going to take my glue eraser and get some of that off before I put it in my embossing folder. So I'll take this off because I don't want that big, because embossing means, you know, you're pressing on it. And I just put this in my folder like this. And you always put your folder in folded edge first. And I don't have that very straight. Straighten that up a little bit. Okay. So when you emboss, the directions are always on the really thick plate. For regular embossing, it says use the standard embossing folders, and it shows you that you need plate number 1, 2 plate number 3s, and the embossing folder in between. So that means I do not need plate number 2, which I would usually use when I'm cutting and doing other things. But I do need 2 of the clear plates to emboss this. Okay, So I always have one that's kind of scarred up, and I'm going to place that on here. Okay. I'm going to place that on top of number 1, and then I'm going to place another plate number 3 on top of that, and I'm going to run that through my Stampin' Cut and embossing machine. And voila. Can you see the pretty embossing? I mean, I know it's really small, but it makes those little stars. It's really pretty. So now all I have to do is start putting my card together. So I have that fresh freesia card base, and this time it's going to go landscape. And this is portrait, this is landscape. Okay. And I am going to start. Well, I'm going to start with burnishing because I need this to be a little flatter. So I'm going to take my bone folder and burnish that so that it'll lie a little bit flatter. And I'm going to put some tape on the back of the pretty flowers, or your glue, whatever you like to use for your adhesive. And I'm just, as you see, just putting 5 little squidges on there. And I'll center it on the Blackberry Bliss, which is just a little bit larger. That's my first piece. And I'm going to place that right there. This is going to go underneath. And then this is going to go on top. Now, I haven't stamped anything on that yet, but I used Blackberry Bliss ink on that. And I chose, I mean, you, like I said, you're going to use your own ink and your own stamps. I used Perennial Postage for this, and I picked You Mean the World to Me. It can be Happy Birthday, Happy Mother's Day. You can do whatever you want to do on that. But I like that one, You Mean the World to Me. And when I stamp words, I almost always use my Misty. I'm going to bring that in. And I need to take out the foam because this is a thick stamp, a rubber stamp. I want it to go this way, and I need to hold it down with it. I'm going to place that on there first, probably, and then put my magnet on it. That's straight. And this way, if I need to stamp more than one time, I can. It's really easy because everything stays put. And even though I catch some edges all the time, when I'm hand stamping, I got to worry about that. But when I'm doing a Misty, I don't have to worry about that. And I just use pressure tool. You can get on Amazon. Oh, it came out perfect. Yeah, perfectly. And I always try to remember to clean my stamps right away so I don't cross-contaminate. Rise it up a little bit. That. Okay, so now I'm going to take this down again. Use your adhesive of choice. I'm just going to center this. And actually, you can tear it up. It's not as easy as glue to move around, but you can move it around a little bit. Yeah. And then I used some Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. And this went with another set, but these gems I thought looked really pretty. Especially the lightest color went pretty well, or even the middle color. Maybe I'll use a middle color this time. Or the dark color goes with the Blackberry Bliss. Oh my gosh, they all go well. Okay, they all go well. So we're gonna use. I used light on this one. I used light. I'm gonna use the dark one this time, and I'm gonna put one here. And I'm going to put two smaller ones here. You can do this whatever you want. But they do say one of the rules is an odd number. So 1, 3, 5, etc. When you put embellishments and jewels and things like that on. Okay. So now I have to glue stuff down. So this is going to be flat, and this is going to be flat, and this is going to be popped up. Okay. And make sure I have this go in the right direction because, you know, I've put them on upside down before. And sometimes I just send them that way and people get a laugh. They just go, oh well, it's a handmade card. You know, what can you expect? So sometimes you just have to go with it. Okay. And I'm going to be pretty generous about, because this is embossed and it's got impressions in it, and put a little more tape on that one. And then this one, I'm going to pop up with my dimensionals. I'm going to put some at the tips and at the other end. Take the backs off. And as you can tell, these card designs, these sketches, they are so useful for just whatever paper, whatever ink you have. I mean, this is the Sale-A-Bration stuff, which is beautiful, and I really like it. And then last month, if you ordered from me, you got this fine sheer ribbon with the silver on it. And I already tied a bow. I know I did. I tied one last night, but I'm not sure where that went. That's okay. I'm just going to use my bow tying jig. I don't even cut the ribbon off when I use this, but I did make a double bow. So instead of just wrapping it once, I wrapped it twice. So it would have 2 loops. Oops, did I do that backwards? Yep, did it backwards. Okay, so now I can tie that and cut it. And when I leave it on the spool like that, I have less waste. I use what I need, but I have less waste. I'm only going to have to waste a little bit on this one end. So I'm going to cut that off because I don't want the tails to be too long. And so that's still on the spool, just like that. and I tied that on my bow jig. Again, you can get these on Amazon, and it's all tied. And I did doubles, so I pull those apart. They're really pretty. It adds a little more interest. I attach them to, just get a glue dot. Also linked below. Put it on the back. Those are clear. Spread my bow apart, and I'm done with the front. So then you can cut the inside, and I cut stitched rectangles here, which I don't think is available anymore either, but I'll cut you an inside. And I used Spotlight on Nature with my Blackberry Bliss ink. And since there were flowers on the front, all I did, the Spotlight on Nature, because remember I used that circle of Spotlight on Nature, and I used this big one right here to do this. And I just placed it on a large block like this, and I inked it up, and I had this on a silicone mat. The reason I'm not doing it is because I did not cut another piece. Anyway, and I just stamped part of it, okay, because I didn't want the whole thing on there. And I didn't put a sentiment on the inside because I already stamped "You Mean the World to Me," and I would just write a nice note to someone with that. And so that's how I did that. I used Spotlight on Nature, which is one of my very favorite. It's very simple, but it's one of my favorites that came out this year. And I use it for so many things, so many different cards. It has all these nice, simple elements with the butterfly and the leaves. It has "Dear Friend, Thanks." It has some splotchy dots, which I love splotchy dots. And it has a crosshatch thing, which adds visual interest. I love that too. Anyway, this is a great bundle, and I have that linked below also. So we have, you'll get 2 of these. You Mean the World, or you can stamp what you're going to stamp, whatever you want, but that's basically what they're going to look like. I'll do all the die cutting for you and the cutting of the paper. So you'll have the card kits. They come with envelopes, and that is for a $40 order. You will get all 4 of these things to make all 4 of these cards for a $40 order. For a $50 order, you'll get all 4 of these cards, as well as some gems. Okay. Now this one will these 2 will both come with some gems. Okay, they'll be on a little card or a little sheet, and they'll come with these gems. But to get a whole package of gems that have never been used, that's for a $50 order. For a $60 order, you get all 4 card kits and the gems, and you get to pick something out of the Sale-A-Bration catalog for free with your order, something that you pick. And it might be one of the things I've shown you here today, or there's a whole bunch of other stuff in there that's really fun and interesting, and I'll be showcasing some of those items later on this month. Again, this goes for a little over 2 months, about 2.5 months of Sale-A-Bration, and it's our biggest sale of the year. So I hope that you will take advantage of it. I hope you enjoy your card making. I hope you have a happy new year, and I hope that all your Christmas decorations are put away. Thank you for watching me today, and please join me next week. Thank you.